get a load of this. Only 3-hour drive from Chicago. Yes, 3-hour drive. Looks like it should be a 3-hour flight, but I promise you, I just did it. 3 hours to Devils State Park here in Wisconsin. Used to be a resort back in the day, now a state park, complete with a beach, concession stand, souvenir shop, boat rentals, canoe rentals. They got the whole thing happening here, and that is the Chicago scene. One tank trip up to Wisconsin. I'm going to explore this a little bit more, maybe climb the bluffs that are behind me over there, and also check out some caves on this trip, and finally finishing up where Tiger Woods cut his teeth to become the PGA pro that he is. That is all the Chicago scene for now. I'm going to talk to Missy, who will give me the explanation of this place and all the trailheads and things you should check out, and maybe I'll go on a little hike too. We'll see here in a sec, but let's go find Missy. All right, so I've been wandering around a little bit on this beach, just mesmerized by the beauty of it. I had no idea this was here, and I flagged down my friend Missy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So real quick, just tell me what you do with the park, just so we get that out of the way, and then tell me about this place.
Yeah, well, I've got a very long title, but it's the Recreation Partnership Section Chief. So I do external relations, marketing, communications, all that fun stuff for the state park system.
And this is something I've never really seen before. I've been to Wisconsin a bunch of times, like many Chicagoans, but I gotta say, this is something, I almost feel like I'm in like Colorado or something. This is beautiful.
You know, it's great. You know, this park has been here since 1911. It's our third park, and it's got an incredible history. So it's kind of a neat little gem in our state park system.
So tell me about like the different beaches on here, the trailheads and the bluffs and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we've got two beaches, one at the North Shore, one at the South Shore. North Shore is a little bit more popular, but South Shore offers the same amenities. We've got about 25 miles of trail, just over 400 campsites, and it sits on 10,000 acres.
That's a lot going on here, and I just want to pan out here because it's not just like a state park what maybe some people might be thinking of. This is like kind of a resort vibe here where you have canoe rentals, you have some paddle boat rentals and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and it's actually funny you say that. This actually used to be a resort.
Really?
Before it became a state park, this was resort land. They were a little bit more adventurous than we are, but yeah, you're exactly right. We do have concessions that offer food, beverages. You can get a great fish fry on Friday night, and they do rent out paddle boats, stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, and canoes.
So you said the best views are up on these bluffs here. So you're challenging me to walk because you said your 4-year-old did it. So now I should be totally easy to be able to do this, right?
Well, exactly. I mean, I did it with my 4-year-old over spring break a few years ago.
Yeah.
And if she can do it, you can do it. Many people go up the bluffs either way. Some people do the whole loop all at once, where they start at the North Shore, go up either the east or west bluff, circle around to the South Shore, and come back around. So yeah, it's definitely the sight to see, that's for sure.
How long would that take if you were going to do something like that?
I would say about 4 hours to do the full loop. We say about 2 hours for each one, but there's plenty of area on top of each bluff to explore, exploring the views, bringing a picnic, and just hanging out.
And that, what's the entrance fee when you come in? Do you have to? I know you have to get like a pass. Why don't you explain that real quick for people?
Yeah, you can either get a daily pass or an annual pass. Our annual passes are $28 for in-state, $38 for out-of-state. They're available online, and then otherwise you can get a day pass when you get to the park as well.
Real quick, what's the website for people to do that?
You can go to dnr.wi.gov and type in parks, and all that information will be there for you.
All right, well, there you have it, Missy. You've thrown down the gauntlet, so I have to now head up to that area just over there. So I'm going to do that. But thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you giving me the scoop on this wonderful park.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. We hope to see you all here sometime.
Check out this view. So I hiked up the trail about, I don't know, an hour or so, got to the top of the East Bluff, and this is the same lake as you were looking out before, just with this spectacular view. It makes you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere in the most perfect way possible. So that's it. I'm tired. I'm going to check out some cave dwellings and a nice path, bike path. That's coming up in a second here. But first, let's enjoy this one more time. Rain or shine, doesn't matter. You're open all year long. Winter, fall, summer. Jan, this is Cave of the Mounds, and you guys don't let the weather get in the way of having a good time, right?
No, Cave of the Mounds is weatherproof. We are a natural limestone cave, and limestone, like you see behind me here,
Yeah, look at that. Right
is
there, huh?
something that is just a natural place that water goes through anyway. Water percolates down through the ground. and we're up really high in southwestern Wisconsin, so it's very, there's a lot of water runoff going down through things, but we don't experience flooding or anything like that. Rainy days are great days to leave the water parks and come and head underground and explore the cave. It's a good environment for that.
Yeah, we're not far from the Dells or other attractions here in Wisconsin. But I got to say, you know, when I was coming here, it was raining really hard. So I'm thinking to myself, oh man, maybe it's going to be flooded or wet, but that's not the case at all. It actually takes a couple days for the rain that happens right here on the surface to even get to the caves, right?
Right, yes. It takes a little bit of time for it to go down through the layers of the earth. And the cave itself is far enough below the frost line that it's the same temperature all year round. So in the spring, when all the snow melts, we see a lot more moisture down in the cave. But it comes through at a gradual pace that Mother Nature just filters through. And we are open in the middle of winter when 50 degrees feels downright tropical in Wisconsin.
Yeah, for sure. And this was something that was discovered kind of by accident, right? This was a dairy farm before, and they discovered this when they were blasting. Is that right?
Right. We're standing in the brand new Quarry's Edge beer garden.
Well, let's swing around and make sure we get that whole thing, right? Yeah.
And the limestone rock that's right here is something that they were just making gravel out of. So they were blasting this stone, trying to create little bits of limestone to put on the area roads, and they happened to blast open a hole in the ceiling of the cave.
Oops, right?
Right, a big oops. One of the greatest mistakes in Wisconsin turned out to be such a treasure because this cave doesn't have a natural entrance. So it was very big news throughout the state, and really an exciting thing to go from picking gravel out of a gravel pit to being a quarry worker that was the first noted explorer in the cave. It's a magical place, and it's just really neat. Stalactites and stalagmites are I'm glad that you brought that up, because Tate, one of your coworkers, she was walking me through earlier, and stalactites are the ones that are hanging down from the ceiling, and stalagmites are the ones on the bottom, right? Yeah, you're a good student. The stalactites hang tight to the top, and the stalagmites might grow up there someday.
And this takes thousands of years. This isn't going to happen next March.
It does, yeah. Over the last 10 years, we've been working with a scientist working on her master's and doctorate, and she's helped prove that these formations take much longer than we originally thought. It takes about a centimeter of rock to grow. It can take well over 100 years, sometimes longer. It just depends on the conditions.
And I think it's just wonderful. You walk through the caves, and it's like a figure eight. And you have certain spots there at the back, I think it is, where you have the Oops Cave. I forgot the actual name of it. Surprise Cave. Because that was that man-made portion where they were drilling through just to create more space, and they accidentally found that one, and that's what you have there. And then it ends at this like magical little river underground. It's so cool. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark down here.
It's really neat to see the cave for the first time, or to see it 50 times after that. But as you walk through, you get to love the rain. It's a great day for a cave.
For sure.
As you walk through this guided experience, you can do it at a pace that fits you and your family. So if you have little kids and they're anxious to go through really fast, or they want to look in every little hole, you can do that on your timeline, and you're not slowing down an entire tour or feeling like you're stuck in a tour. The self-paced format is just guided, just the guided perfect experience for everybody.
And it looks like I'll be staying here for a little while because it is pouring rain right now. But what's the best way for people to find the caves on website, and do they need to make reservations or anything like that?
We do take reservations, but you don't need them. You can come and just drop in anytime between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. We're open. You want to try to get here before 4. 4 o'clock's our last entry time, and that gives you enough time to see the cave. But most people will spend 2 to 3 hours in the park grounds, and there's things like the gem mining, and
there's more than just the cave here. You got trails and everything.
Trails. So they'll take advantage of those things as well as the cave. You can come anytime and just get your tickets at the door, or if you really like to schedule your trip a little better, you can order them online. But our website, caveofthemounds.com, that's really the main hub of information. But we're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, so you can check out those resources too.
Well, Jan, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I just before I finish up here, Jan didn't mention yet that, or she did kind of, the entrance of the cave isn't just like randomly off the road. No, it's in here. You have to go inside the gift shop, well placed, by the way.
Yes.
And that's the entrance of the cave, because it's the entrance that you guys made for people to go in, right?
The cave was, when it was found, it was a big hole in the earth, and that was a new hole. There'd been no way to get in or out of the cave previously, so it wasn't an environment for creatures. And the owners wanted to keep it as natural as they could, so they decided that sealing that hole back up would help better protect the cave and keep things that weren't native to it out of it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, that's the end of my time here at Cave of the Mounds, about a half hour west of Madison. Next up, I'm heading over to Whitewater, which is just west of Lake Geneva, to check out the state forest, get on a trailhead, go biking. We'll see where that takes me. Let's hope this rain holds off. Otherwise, maybe I'll just stay here in the caves for another couple hours. All right, so I made my way from the caves, and now I'm in LaGrange, Wisconsin, at a historic spot. And Ann's gonna tell me all about it, because Ann, you know about it because you bought the building, and it's your business in there, Avant Cycle Cafe, right?
Yes. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah,
this
no
was
problem.
Previously known as LaGrange General Store, and has been here for 38 years and is a staple to all the mountain bike riders that come out and enjoy the kettles. We rent mountain bikes out here, and in Lake Geneva, we rent cruisers and electric bikes.
What's the best way for people to look at your stuff? You have a website for people and all that good stuff?
We do. It's avantcyclecafe.com.
All right, perfect. And then that brings me into Shannon, because Shannon is this young lady back here, and she put me she put me on a course where we went nuts. We out on a path. Where did we go, first of all? And hi, how are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good,
Thanks for
good.
having me.
Yeah.
We went out to John Muir. We went to the trailhead and hit a couple miles out on one of the loops. So I took you on to the Brown Loop, which is a great introductory loop that people can go on, a great warm-up loop. We just opened it up.
Just because I'm at the end of my day. Otherwise, I would have done the whole thing with you, I promise. But just riding in that forest it's absolutely stunning. I had no idea, and I think maybe people from the Chicago area don't know that a lot of Wisconsin isn't just farm fields and everything else. It's a state forest that spreads all over the state, right?
Right. So where we are now today, where I took you, was in the southern unit of the Kettle Moraine State Forest. So back in the Ice Age, the glaciers went through the state of Wisconsin and formed what are called the kettles, which essentially is you have kettles in the ground. So you're a lot of dips, a lot of climbs. So we take advantage of that out here in the state forests. The Park Service and volunteers they do an amazing job maintaining the trails, and they vary really in difficulty. So you can tell single track, but you can go from flat to pretty serious climbs.
What's the serious climb? The one that we did. What's the most serious one you got out here?
So if you're going on the Blue Loop, which is the longest loop of them, and there's quite a few climbs out there. Towards the end, there's a really good one, which I know anyone that's out here knows exactly what I'm talking about. They have actually diverted, and you can bypass that if you want to. It's just it's a challenge.
For people who are coming out here for the first time, is there a pass they need to buy to go into these parks?
Great question. So State Park does require a pass. You could get a day pass, which is great. If you want to ride on the trails here, you do also need a trail pass. So at any trailhead that you go to, there's always a guard shack there that you can purchase, or you can purchase online if you need to at the Wisconsin State Park website.
Fantastic. You ladies are both a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate it. Yep. Ann, come over so you guys can hang out together. Real quick, one more time, the website, Ann?
avantcyclecafe.com.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate it. And that wraps up my day for today. I've done the bike ride. I've hung out with these ladies. I did the cave thing. I'm going to go home now and rest, well, my hotel. And then I'm going to go golfing tomorrow. So we'll see where that takes me. But thanks again, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thanks for riding with us.
Yeah. Hello, world, indeed. I mean, what were you doing on August 29th, 1996? If you weren't at the Brown Deer Golf Course out here in Milwaukee, odds are maybe you didn't see Tiger Woods make his professional debut. But if you're a golf enthusiast, then I guess you have. But I mean, it's kind of a significant moment in sports. But this is the course right here, and this is the 10th hole where he made his debut. I am wrapping up my Chicago scene out here in Milwaukee. I've seen Cave of the Mounds, Devils State Park, and I've ridden my bike through the state forests of Wisconsin. So I'm going to talk to the golf pro here to get the scoop on what makes this place so great, outside of the fact that, you know, Tiger Woods was here. That's up now. All right, so just outside of the 9th hole, I've made my way over to golf pro Andy Barrett. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Great day.
Yes, it is. So tell me about this course, because it's got a little slice of sports history attached to it, among other little things that have happened since then. But the big one, why don't you tell everybody what the sports piece of history is?
Well,
question.
Going all the way back to 1929. No, we had a lot of expedition matches maybe in the 30s. Over the last century, we had U.S. public links. The crowning moment that you're talking about is Tiger Woods started his professional debut. In fact, we even have a plaque right over there on number 10 where those guys are going to commemorate it. We got a hallway kind of like a little Tiger Woods shrine and the PGA Tour shrine. But we had the tour here from 1994 to 2009. So it was a big major tour stop.
Yeah.
And it was great. Our latest is the LPGA Symetra Tour, the qualifying tour to get on the LPGA, which was an awesome tournament last year. Kind of stopped that for a little while. We might bring it back in the future. But this course has had a lot of history of big-time national play over the years, over the last century.
Yeah. How old is it? How long has it been around?
The course? 1929.
1929.
Yeah, so we're coming up on our 100-year
yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah, right
you gotta
on it.
come back for that.
Yeah, for sure. And I noticed that you've recently redone part of the hallway here in the clubhouse where you have some images up on the walls of past golfers and things like that, right?
Well, I've been here since 2015, and since I've been here, I mean, that hallway was one of my main little pet projects, but beyond that, the team, we redid the whole clubhouse, the roof, the driving range area, the road realignment, the kitchen is brand new, this tavern right here is brand new, the deck that we're standing on is brand new. The restrooms, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And
Taking care of the place.
The millions of dollars that we really put into this place, it kind of starts adding up. And I'm like, wow, this place from where it was to where it comes, to now is Brown Deer 2.0. And people who haven't been here for years, they come back and they're like, wow, this place is, amazing. And what has happened to this course and watch it grow and transform into what it is today. It was cool to watch.
Or what's the best way for them to reserve a tee time?
Well, mke.golf. You can do our online tee time reservation. You can call the golf shop here too, but mke.golf, you can see where our specials are, so you can get a discount if you're out of state. There's other things that you can take a hold of to bring the price down a little bit. Otherwise, you're looking at around $100 to play here. And you can the course is in great shape. Make a tee time, come and play. We have specials running all the time. And mke.golf.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
You're welcome.
All right, that's a wrap on this Chicago scene on the road at Brown Deer Golf Course in Milwaukee. If you have a suggestion for the Chicago scene, TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. That's TBarnes at WGNTV.com. And as always, thank you for watching. I got one more hole to go, and then I'm back home.